In the small coastal town of Windhaven, the sea was both a blessing and a curse. The townsfolk had learned to coexist with its moods, but nothing could prepare them for the cruel storm that would change their lives forever. It began as a whisper, a low hum in the air that made the hairs on the back of every neck stand on end. Fishermen returning from their daily haul noticed the unusual chill, the way the sky darkened far too early. Old Mrs. Whitaker, the town's unofficial weather oracle, muttered to herself as she watched the horizon, her eyes clouded with concern. "Something wicked this way comes," she said to anyone who would listen. Most shrugged it off, attributing her words to the ramblings of an elderly woman. But as the day wore on, the wind picked up, carrying with it a sense of foreboding that was impossible to ignore. By evening, the storm hit with a fury unmatched in living memory. The sky opened up, releasing torrents of rain that battered the rooftops and turned streets into rivers. Waves crashed against the shore, their whitecaps illuminated by flashes of lightning that split the sky with deafening booms. In the heart of the chaos was the Matthews family. Daniel Matthews, a seasoned fisherman, had just returned home with his two sons, Sam and Ben. They were securing their boat when the storm hit. His wife, Emma, watched anxiously from the window, her heart pounding with every crash of thunder. "Get inside," she screamed as a particularly fierce gust of wind nearly knocked Daniel off his feet. He managed to usher the boys into the house, slamming the door against the howling wind. "We need to get to the cellar," Daniel said, his voice steady despite the panic in his eyes. The family huddled together, making their way to the basement as the storm raged above them. Hours passed in darkness and fear. The noise was relentless, a cacophony of wind, rain, and thunder that seemed to have no end. Emma clutched her children, whispering words of comfort even as her own heart trembled with dread. Suddenly, there was a loud crack, followed by a shudder that ran through the entire house. The family froze, their eyes wide with terror. Daniel ventured upstairs, wading through ankle-deep water to assess the damage. He found the roof partially collapsed, debris scattered everywhere. "We can't stay here," he called down to his wife. "We need to get to higher ground." The journey to safety was perilous. The streets were flooded, the wind howling like a wild beast. They joined other townsfolk who were also seeking refuge, their faces pale with fear. Together, they made their way to the town hall, the highest and sturdiest building in Windhaven. Inside, the atmosphere was one of grim determination. Neighbors helped each other, sharing blankets and supplies, their collective will to survive stronger than the storm outside. The mayor, a stoic man named Harold Green, took charge, organizing efforts to keep everyone safe. For 3 days, the storm battered Windhaven. It seemed unending, a malevolent force intent on tearing the town apart. But the spirit of the people held firm. They worked together, comforting each other through the darkest hours. Finally, on the morning of the 4th day, the storm began to abate. The winds died down, the rain lessened to a drizzle, and the first rays of sunlight pierced through the heavy clouds. Exhausted but relieved, the townsfolk emerged from the town hall to survey the damage. Windhaven was unrecognizable. Homes were destroyed, boats wrecked, and the once bustling harbor lay in ruins. But amidst the devastation, there was a sense of hope. They had survived the cruel storm, and now they would rebuild. Daniel and his family returned to their home, or what was left of it. As they stood in front of the wreckage, Emma took Daniel's hand. "We can fix this," she said, her voice filled with determination. Daniel nodded, looking at his children. "Yes, we can." And so, with the strength of their community and the resilience of their spirits, the people of Windhaven began the long journey of recovery, forever changed by the storm, but united in their resolve to rebuild their lives.